We just had Shelley Berkeley in studio. She's running for mayor in Las Vegas. But there are MAGA Republicans and crazies, as I would call some of them, that are running for school board positions, just like here in Las Vegas, all over the country. We got to make sure these people don't get into office, right? And one of the ladies that I'm talking about, she is a MAGA Republican. She was one of those people that was protesting outside of a Target store, yelling at people. I was one of them going in there. Remember that whole controversy with the LGBT shirts that were being sold at Target stores? Well, this woman is running for school board, and she was outside a Target protesting. This is the same woman who is shouting stuff at voters as they go in to vote at Desert Breeze here. She is a lunatic MAGA Republican. She did this show a few years ago. I criticized her. I want you to keep in mind, there are people like this that are running for office, MAGA Republicans across the country. This woman's name is Lorena Cardinas. Now, she came on this show, and I asked her, why is she so against Gay Pride Month? This was her answer. Lorena, that's a good topic to talk about. Why do you have a problem with Gay Pride Month? Why do you have an issue with that?
I think it's basically showing people and celebrating the fact that you didn't have any accomplishments in society. You didn't do any good for the community. You basically just want to be celebrated for how you have sex.
You want to be celebrated for how you have sex. By the way, I would also argue, what has this woman ever did besides protest outside of a Target store? What has she done for the community? And she's saying Gay Pride Month is all about celebrating how you have sex. No, it's not, you nitwit, you imbecile. It's about being able to be comfortable with who you are and celebrate who you are without bigots like her telling you what you should or shouldn't do. That's what Gay Pride Month is all about, you imbecile. And you know how Donald Trump lies about, oh, well, these kids, you just drop them off at school and they come back home another gender. Now, obviously, anybody who believes that has an extremely low IQ because it's a lie and it's just not happening. But this woman, Lorena, makes it sound like kids are just getting transgender surgeries and being put on, steroids or other things without parental permission, which is a lie. Have a listen to this. It's frustrating for me, which is this. You're making it sound like a 9 or 10 or 11 or 12-year-old could just walk in and see their doctor and get their penis cut off. Lorena, that's not how it works.
Yes, he could. Not exactly that age, but down the line, yes, they are already in treatment to do that. They are already in treatment to get their stuff chopped off.
Oh my God, that argument went on forever. I have not invited her back on because she's a complete imbecile. And the fact that she is running for school board, if you're a parent and you listen to somebody like that, is that somebody you want working on the school board? There are people like this that are running throughout the country. Anyway, I wanted to get her opponent to come on, who seems like a very nice lady and a normal human being. Her name is Kamilah Bywaters, and she joins us right now on the show. Ms. Bywaters, thank you so much for being here. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Brian. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so excited. I was in the backstage like, oh gosh, help us.
Well, I got to ask you, what goes through your mind when you hear your opponent, and that's just, by the way, a small snippet of my interview with her. I mean, I could have played 20 different things that she said that are absurd and ridiculous. Let me start here, because obviously I want to ask about you and what you want to do for Clark County. But
absolutely,
what does it say about somebody that they wake up in the morning and they decide to protest outside of Target because they're selling pro-LGBTQ shirts? What does that say about your opponent?
Well, my concern is that if you are not able to be in community with our community at a Target, then you are not going to be able to do the challenging work that is required in one of the most diverse districts across the nation. Our district is very diverse with a student diversity, teacher diversity, support staff, administrative staff. And my concern is that she's unstable to lead our district forward with all of the challenges that we have. We don't have a superintendent. We have a teacher shortage. And I have not heard her talk about any of those issues because of her super hyper focused concepts that she's talking about with children.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, let's talk about that. You hear a lot of Lorena's, your opponent, talk about how teachers are indoctrinating our students. They're teaching critical race theory. And they're making it sound like these teachers are telling kids that they have to be transgender or they have to be gay. Lorena talks about that a lot. I wanted to get your thoughts on that and if you could comment on that.
Sure. So if you don't know, I'm a licensed special education teacher. I've been licensed since 2008. I have a master's in education, a master's in divinity, and I'm working on my PhD in special education. And I've also been able to train special education teachers for the field. And our focus as teachers is to educate students. We are not in schools. We should not be in schools teaching our ideologies to our students. That's not what education is about.
Right.
And I think that, that type of thinking is very dangerous for our students and our school community, because we won't be able to move forward. It's going to be this individual having their ideologies and basically a dictatorship.
Right. I think that's very well said. And I remember going to a voter station. This was a couple years ago. And as I was there, Lorena was there and she was shouting at me. She was yelling at me. She was trying to intimidate me. And I heard a story from a personal friend of mine who did this show last week, who said she was at a local voting station area and she was doing the same thing to him. These people are unhinged. And what's, obviously it's very, what's the word I should use here? It's very alarming that there are people like Lorena out there that are trying to, get onto the school board. But I think, as you know, Kamilah, is that there are Lorenas all over this country.
Absolutely.
It's not just her, which I hope she doesn't win. You seem like a lovely lady, and I hope you win. But there are people all over the country like Lorena that are running for office that are unfit. They're crazy, like Donald Trump. They're nuts.
Yeah. So, I would like to say that I have actually received national endorsements from organizations across the country because they've seen how high the stakes are in Clark County. And when we thought, CCSD is in the news all of the time with all of the issues that are happening. And I'm thinking, are they working extra hard to burn it down? But I'm saying that to say is that all eyes have been on our public education system, and the support that I have received is so important because it shows that people across the country want to invest in our public education system to ensure that we have good leaders. I have the education, I have the background, I have the skills, but at this time, what we need is compassionate leaders who are going to respect all diversity of thought. And I think that's something else that I bring to the table. I've been able to pull very conservative thinkers to my side. And I love that because I'm able to work across party lines. This is about ensuring that we have good people in office who value our students and their families and value their culture and background and the diversity. And that's what I'm bringing into the space. And that's what our students and their families deserve.
I want to ask you this question as a Black woman living in this country. When you hear Donald Trump, and this is more of a national thing, but I want to get your thoughts on this. When you hear Donald Trump say that Kamala Harris turned Black, they're eating the cats and the dogs, talking about legal Haitian immigrants. When you see the Donald Trump comments he made in Chicago, and he says he's great for the Black community and Black people love him, he claims. And he also is being interviewed at a Black barbershop, and he says he feels like Black people can relate to him better because of his mugshot. I'm wondering what goes through your mind when you hear these things.
So I am a graduate of Howard University and Howard University School of Divinity. So big shout out to the work that Howard, the people that we're producing in society. It really is disheartening, as a Black woman who I'm working on my PhD, I have master's level education. It seems that when we're talking about white privilege and Donald Trump and these rude comments that he makes, it's really discounting our humanity. And that makes me sad. And, our community deserves better leaders than that. And it really does break my heart. And, I think about just all of the work that I've done to prepare myself for this space. Yeah. It's like we can never do as a Black woman. It's like, I can never be good enough to be a part of society. And that's why I'm running for the Board of School Trustees so that people can see themselves in me.
Well, I got to tell you something. Nothing would make me more happier than tomorrow, whatever we find out, that if you win and Kamala Harris as a woman of color, is the first female president of all time. I think it'll be a monumental and historic day for this country. Before I let you go, and I really do appreciate you being here, can you please give out your website? We are one day, even though we have a national audience, obviously there are a lot of people here in Las Vegas that listen to the show as well. Give out the information of your website so before people go to the voting booth tomorrow, they know a little bit more about you.
Absolutely. So again, my name is Kamilah Bywaters. I'm running for the Board of School Trustees in District E. So if you live in the Summerlin area, northwest part of the valley, I'm on your ballot. My website is Kamilah4Nevadans.com. And you can email me, contact me. My phone number's on the website. And that's what I want to give to our community. I plan to be present. I've already been present. And whatever you need from me, I'm available.
And I'll just say this in closing. You are the opposite of your opponent. You're an extremely educated, well-informed, intelligent, accomplished woman. Your opponent is extremely ill-informed is a nice way of putting it. And I'm just going to, she's just an idiot. And that's just what I do. I'm just going to call her for what she is. She is a moron. She is unhinged. And she shouldn't be anywhere near a school, let alone being on the school board. So I want to be very clear on that. Well, hopefully we can have you back on after you win. Let's hope you get the result that we both want. And Kamilah, I wish you the best of luck, and I appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the invitation. Thank you so much.
Appreciate that. Yeah, we hope that she wins because her opponent is a MAGA nut, a MAGA imbecile nut and bigoted in nature. I want to be very clear on this.